Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man to him and begged him to touch him. So he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hand on him, he asked him if he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see men like trees walking. Then he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up, and he was restored, and saw everyone clearly. Then he sent him away to his house, saying, Neither go into the town, nor tell anyone in the town. Yun po ang salita ng Panginoon.
Ayan. So, that is our scripture of the day. So, maraming salamat, Sister Wilda, for reading our scripture for the day. And right now po, ay balik po sa inyo, Pastor, sa ating satellite studio dyan sa may Las Vegas.
Yes. All right. Salamat, Prudence, Sister Wilda, for being there. Women's night ngayon eh. Excuse me. At thank you po for reading our scripture text. And for some of the good news that you just shared earlier, salamat po bilang aming ate sa fellowship. At may Yahweh continue to bless you po, Sister Wilda.
Thank you po,
22, sabi niya, then he came to Bethsaida, and they brought a blind man to him, and begged him to touch him. So he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. Parang kalayo, kaya itong from where they brought him the blind man, and then nilabas pa niya ng town. Well, of course, alam natin yung purpose niya is to grant yung kanilang request to heal him. We do not know how many, if there are other people or even the disciples were with them nung dinala niya sa town. Pero alam natin yung purpose niya because at the end of the segment, he instructed a blind person not to tell, parang do not go back and don't tell anyone. Ayun na nga, merong timing ang ating Panginoong Yeshua on when you will tell people on what he did sa iyo. Kaya nga yun sa atin, even when we wanna tell the whole world about the gospel, dapat discreet din tayo. Hindi po lahat ng tao are ready to hear the gospel eh. Kaya minsan nagmumukha tayong mga kengkoy, nagmumukha tayong mga siraulo. Parang we're like brainwashed by some kind of a cult. Dahil at times we just open our mouth and we pour yung mga beautiful things that God had done sa atin, even though ang ating mga listener are not even ready to hear all that.
Yeah.
Tama lang na merong mga scriptures na ganito. Who am I to say tama o hindi? Pero the point is that will remind us na not to open our mouth all the time, just trying to win the person, to tell the person about the gospel and everything. There are proper times. There is a proper time, sabihin ko na lang, na kung kailan tayo dapat magsalita. Remember yung let me quote si Saint Francis Assisi na ang sinabi niya, share the gospel every minute, every hour, every day. If possible, use word. Ibig sabihin niya, sa ating mga galaw, sa ating buhay, pagkatao, yung approach natin sa kapwa natin, that is actually a great way to convey the gospel. At times naman, we need to verbalize it. Kaya lang maraming mga Christians thinking sharing the gospel is by verbalizing it, by memorizing scriptures such as Roman Road, John 3:16, and so you win the person for Christ. Parang yun na, nagiging shallow na ang Christianity dahil nga yun ang orientation ng karamihan. Even equipping people to share the gospel when the person are not even mature. Hindi man sila grown up. Hindi man sila stable sa kanilang mga pananampalataya. Kaya at times may mga taong nakikinig, may taong makikinig sa kanilang sharing and everything, they get to go sa church and then makita nila yung taong nag-invite or nag-share mismo sa kanila ay hindi siya reliable, hindi siya stable, at times ay may bisyo pa. Kaya sila mismo nai-stumble dahil hindi naman stable yung taong nag-share ng gospel. Kaya itong pagkakataong ito na sinabi ng ating Panginoon, don't tell anyone, don't go to town. Of course, alam natin in the context, ang ating Panginoon, He avoids yung mga premature na spreading about Him dahil basically, chapter 8 pa lang to and we do not know how many Passover pa ang lilipas bago yung the very Passover na siya ay iaalang niya yung kanyang buhay para sa kaligtasan ng bawat isa sa atin. So, merong timing. Nawa ganun din ang dating sa atin na let's be sensitive kung when we will share ang gospel o yung mga ginawa ng ating Panginoon sa atin. Alright, ang sabi niya dito, continuing, 24, 23. So, he took the blind man by the hand and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes and put his hands on him, he asked him if he saw anything. And he looked up and said, I see men like trees walking. Ngayon, nakakakita siya ngayon na after spitting on his eyes and put his hands on him, parang in-spit niya yung kanyang mata and then he placed yung kanyang kamay sa kanya. After that, nakakaaninag. Bigla siyang may nakakita, pero parang mga trees. That means he sees something and yet not so clear. 24, yun ang 25. Then, he put his hands on his eyes again and made him look up. And he was restored. And so everyone clearly, then he sent him away to his house, saying, neither go into the town, nor tell anyone in the town. Now, ang pag-heal ang miraculously ng ating Panginoon dito, actually, couple of steps. Hindi po siya immediately. Makita natin ay ang galaw ng Panginoon to one person is different to another person. Merong mga bulag na he will spit on the ground and make a clay and then i-apply niya sa mata and then he asks the person to wash his eyes and then all of a sudden he sees so clearly. Ito naman, he spat on his eyes and then covered with this. Makita natin walang pattern ang Panginoon. He doesn't work the same to people even in the same case. Kahit isang pareho lang yung kanilang case.
Yes.
Isn't that He's doing also nowadays? Di po ba? Kung sa akin, sa akin nung nag-speak sa akin ng gospel is just uh, uh, simply I wasn't even seeking or trying to know about salvation, but somehow merong nangyari na I was able to be attractive sa gospel. Pero meron naman mga taong hindi nga sila naghahanap ng gospel, but the Lord will use another way to reach them out. Kasi sometimes we think this way. Kung yung way na yon, we were led to knowing ang kaligtasan dun sa way kung paano gumalaw ang Panginoon sa akin. I assume ngayon that I have to do that para yung mga iba I will also come to know Him. Iba-iba po yung yung kaparaanan, iba-iba yung timing, iba-iba yung mga things to happen before different people will come to know Him. Kaya hindi po natin ma-box ang Panginoon. Even mga churches, simply they ask people na sino yung gustong tumanggap sa Panginoon na raise your hands or come forward. Usually ganun eh. So pag hindi nag-raise ng hand yung tao, pag hindi siya nag-come forward, parang hindi pa siya tumanggap. So we only have one way na knowing na tumanggap yung tao or yung tao tumanggap sa Panginoon. Kung hindi niya ginawa yung two things na yun, ay hindi pa siya tumanggap. So binabox natin ngayon yung tao kung paano sila nakakakilala o paano sila lalapit sa Panginoon. Kaya here makikita natin we should also emulate. We should also do likewise. According sa leading ng Spirit, you don't know the person already accepted the Lord. You don't know the person already so interested sa gospel and you still pushing yung mga things na hindi na kailangan marinig ng tao. Yet, gusto na niyang marinig yung something na mag-grow na siya sa kanyang newfound faith. Ayan. Itong tao namang ito, siyempre at first ay nakakaaninag na siya, pero yung mga tao parang mga trees, no? Parang mga trees. And then inulit yung nag-spit na naman at pinatingin ang sabi niya, he placed his hand, no?
Yes po.
Ang sabi niya dito sa 25, then he put his hands on his eyes again. Ayan. And then made him look up. Parang kakaiba na naman, no? Kakaiba po ito. There are people who when they encounter ang ating Panginoon and come to know the gospel, immediately yung kanilang transformation is so speedy. Kumbaga, that's it. This is it. So now salamat Panginoon, and then immediately makikita niya yung kanyang buhay is nowhere good ang direction. So immediately ay mag-change siya. But there are people na after knowing salvation, somehow ay hindi niya kaagad hindi siya kaagad let go of the things that meron siya o yung routine niya o yung lifestyle buhay niya. Something else to happen. And then when that something else took place, ay doon pa lang siya, bakit kasi hindi ko pa nilet go yun when I knew something. Yung parang may step before everyone will totally be liberated sa mga bagay na hindi na necessary. Nagbablock sa ating mga kaisipan, buhay Kristiyano, na hindi tayo nagiging ganap immediately. Iba-iba yung timing, way ng Panginoon and how He will bring every one of us into the kind of life na dinisign niya for those who are justified and sanctified. That's something I can share sa segment na ito. If there is anything more, the floor is open. Ika nga. Alright.